go. Thank you.
Okay, hang on. Turning it. Facing it.
Okay.
Bring it in a bit. Turning it. Facing it.
Thank you.
There's 0 viewers, so we're okay.
Okay.
Stay on target.
The beginning's going to be interesting for anyone who watches the recorded version.
What? Oh, yeah, the recorded version.
Yeah.
I'm not here.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah.
Hi. Oh, well, we're back at it. We have a new commission to work on. Well, I do while y'all watch. Obviously, right now we're working on a tea time bag. So, there's our exterior material here. And interior material is going to be this cute little fabric here with all of the little teapots and teacups and all of that on it. And then for the exterior, we're going to be doing cutouts of different teapots and mugs for this. So, color palette here that I've chosen. We're going to have all of these. So, different details on all of this will be in all these different colors. So you start like with an ice blue and then it goes darker over this really great like purple blue. And they all look really nice with the outside of the bag too. So part of that's important. Make sure that we have color coordination that people want. My prompt for this was blues and purples. So we're going to go with that. This is going to be some of our teapot material is this white. It's called Fluidity. So you can see it kind of shifts around. It kind of looks like glazing almost. So I thought that would be really good for this particular one. Cut out some of this for some of our smaller pieces. Alright, let's grab some of these. See which one we're going to do first. I think I'm going to do one of these teacups. Try to use these as much as I can just so that it I don't have to waste the paper on it. I think we're going to start out with one of the cups in white. I don't think the teapot's going to fit on there. No, we're going to go with a cup first. Then we'll work on the rest of this. Alright, so let's get to cutting this out. So one little piece at a time here. These are Bells, that is Raven. She's hanging out with me up here in her little cat bed. Yeah. So the reason that these are a little bit smaller than some of the other pieces that I'm doing is just so that we can fit more on there for more like a tea party feeling, really. Right. The weirdo at the beginning of the video is my husband, who helps me out with setting things up. So, the floral pattern that's on these right now is not what it's going to be at the end. I don't think that I'm gonna fussy cut that much. I think a lot of these would look cute if they were, say, like polka dots. I think that's the look I'm gonna go for at the end. Hi, Rave. So the mug gets cut out first on this one. Tape it down while we go. Hey, baby. do monitor the chat while I'm doing this, so if anyone has questions they would like to ask, please feel free to do so. I'll answer what I can, unless it's like my social security number or something, and that's just a no. So, but if it's about the bags, we can talk about that. Okay, I'm gonna get this little bit here cut out so that we have some definition for the interior of the mug. I do have a nice light brown color I'm going to be putting on some of the insides of these, just so that they have like a little bit of tea color on here too. As you can see, once I peel all this off. Awesome, I'm glad you're here. I've lost one of my pairs of scissors. This happens fairly regularly, not just for when you're wrapping presents, but if you work with scissors all the time, they often disappear. There we go. This one is, put the decorations on these. I think I'm going to cut out some polka dots for this one, and I will do that off stream because it's incredibly loud. I use leather punches to make the circles because trying to cut circles by hand is a nightmare. So I use punches for that because they make perfect circles every time, and I don't have to be perfect. Hi Raven, what do you want? And there's a mug. So there's one. Let's work on a cream pitcher. My husband says in chat that he did not take my scissors, and of course not, because he knows better. No one touches my scissors. That's why I put labels on them. See? I also have a label maker, and I put labels on some of them with a label maker too. That way nobody can say that they didn't know that those were my scissors. Hi Raven. Gonna cut out one of our little cream pitchers here. I do like this little stripe deal that's down here at the bottom, so I think I'm gonna replicate that once I start putting the details on there. Raven, stop trying to eat the vinyl. Stop it. Cat children misbehaving. Always. Raven, stop it. Quit. She's so naughty. She's such a sweet cat, and sometimes she is so naughty. And it's very annoying. So I'm gonna cut this one out. It's a little bit fancier, and I think I want to vary the themes a little bit. Kind of makes it look like a little bit more like a put together tea party instead of like high tea where everything matches. They're also bratty sometimes. Little cats trying to get into things. Raven is so bad about plastic. She wants to nom on it all the time. Let's get... Sorry, sometimes on these I get a little quiet because some of these corners are just difficult. So sometimes when I'm doing things that are supposed to be 3D on a 2D scale, stitching can fix a lot of that, like the rims and like things like that for depth. A lot of that can be fixed in stitching things together. So like on this one, you can see like part of the rim goes up here and then this like shadowed here, but I can't actually put shadows on there because I'm not drawing this. So what I do is I fix it afterwards with stitching. So I'll stitch up this little bit right here once I draw it on, and then it'll match the other side and we won't have that gap there of places where you can see where it should have a shadow for depth, or you should be able to see like the other edge of something. But I'm working in flat materials, not in like paintbrush strokes or digital art like that. So I fix it later with stitches. And it works. Most of my stuff looks pretty much the way I want it to after I had been able to do that, because if the cutting things out doesn't fix it, then definitely it can be fixed with stitching it together. So because we have such a dark background in that teal, putting the details on in like stripes and such with the colors that I've chosen for the embellishments make it look really nice. I do not have machine embroidery. Not like people have, like where they do like the big fancy pictures and stuff like that. I can do freehand embroidery on the machine that's over here, but it's all me doing all of the stitches, not like a programmable machine. I kind of want an embroidery machine just so I can add other details, but for the most part, anything that's stitched onto any of my bags, I've done that by hand. When I did the Van Gogh bag, that was all entirely freehand embroidery. That's what you call it when you don't have a program that does it, is freehand. I don't do it by hand, but I guide the machine to make the patterns that I want. The machine isn't programmed to do it. So, there we go. Got a nice little cream picture. I'll use a different shade of white to do the milk that's supposed to go on the inside of it. Embroidery machines are really cool. But they do have their limits too, because you have to be able to download the patterns and do all that. So, as you can see, the reason that I picked white, even though it looks kind of washed out on my table, is that it's going to look really nice when it's on the bag. And then all of these little things are going to be leaves or flowers or polka dots or stripes. I'm going to even this up before I forget. So to clean it up a little bit, I think I might make this just a little bit bigger too. This is all probably a lot more fiddly than a lot of people wanted to mess with, but I really enjoy it. It's just like some of my favorite parts of my bag making. Somebody actually asked me that earlier today, what's your favorite part of all this? And I'm like, honestly, it's this. I really enjoy this kind of work. I think we'll make some spoons here in a minute too. I got some silver over there. Need spoons. So we're gonna do the teapot on this edge. Kind of move these around so I don't accidentally cut up what I already worked so hard to put out there. And I think I just lost my tape again. Yep, there we go. But yeah, I'm thinking about getting an embroidery machine so I can do like little patterns and stuff like that, but we'll see. They are none too cheap. Do you have a brother scan and cut, but you have to mess with it so much. And like this material here, it doesn't stick to the mats. And I end up losing so much. If you looked at this original piece, what I was cutting out, you see all these. These are from the automatic cutting machine, where it tried to make the pattern that I wanted, and it just folded in on itself. And so I only had like a partial pattern. It's really cool when it works, but it doesn't work on all the vinyl that I have, is the hard part. I'd really like to, I'd really like it if like the tack mats that you lay down, because they're like big mats that feed into the machine, and you stick your material to it, and then it cuts your material to whatever you want it to do. But it doesn't work on everything. I found that a lot of the product that I use doesn't stick to it properly. So like all these little intricate patterns and stuff that it's supposed to be cutting, it just kind of mauls it. It's not great. So a lot of this I have to do by hand still, even if I wanted to cut it out with a machine. I have a brother scan and cut, and it's really cool. I really like it. It just doesn't work with all the materials that I need it to work with. It has a real problem with like felt back stuff, and most of these have some type of felted back to them. Some are fuzzier than others, but most of them are pretty much all backed. None of them are like just plain material, I should say. So on this particular one, I'm going to go ahead and just cut out this, and then I'm going to make the lid a different color. So I think I'm going to do the blue on this, and then I'll put them on the bottom too. I really like that. Yeah, I think my brother's scan and cut can technically cut up to like balsa wood, and I'm sure that might stick a little bit better, but some of these vinyls that I use for all my work is, they're just, I don't know, it just doesn't like them. This fluidity that I'm using especially, it hates this stuff. So I've tried to use it several times for like doing really intricate work, like frames. I've had a couple like cameo style bags that they look really cool, but the problem is that the machine doesn't like to use certain materials, so I have to find the right colors and stuff like that. It's annoying, and sometimes it's just easier for me to do it myself. So here I am with my scalpel, cutting out stuff. Try and make sure that y'all can see what I'm doing, because I know I'm left-handed, so my hand's kind of in the way when I'm working, but some of this is just a little difficult. Smooth angles when you're doing like curved lines and stuff is difficult. I would love to see the stuff that you've been working on. That would be cool. This one's actually a birthday present bag. There we go. I have so many little scissors wandering around here, but these are some of the ones I use the most, because the thread snips tend to bulk at vinyl, even the all metal ones I have. And sometimes I just pull it off there, because I can always burn it with fire later. It gets rid of the little fuzzy parts. Raven, I swear to goodness. Thank you. She's really after that roll of vinyl that has a crinkly plastic cover on it. You can hear her lurking around back there with her little bill collar. There we go. Teapot. And I will go and get... There we go. I'm going to get the lid. Let me see what color I want it to be. I think I like this one. It's so interesting. It's called Parlor Paper, because it looks like that old vintage wallpaper that people used to put in their parlors. It's really pretty, and I wish it hadn't been discontinued, so I kind of hoard it. Got another one of these. Cut out the lid. It's just such a pretty color, and it's the texture of it's really cool. I've used it for so many different things. It's been oceans and let's see. I did a last unicorn bag, and it was the water, where they wanted the hey Jedi. They wanted the water with the waves with the unicorns as the bag. That was like huge challenge, because trying to make that really dynamic scene out of vinyl was interesting, but I managed it in the end. But this really helped with the water, because it gives it a lot of depth and movement. Don't want to cut off any part of this little teapot lid. There we go. I think we got it. Okay. Yay. Awesome. Okay. So then, still have a little bit of a cold right now. It's very irritating. So, can't tell you how many times I've gone to the work to cut something out, and then I've accidentally pulled too hard and things just fall right off. It's very annoying. Now I try to be a little more careful when I'm working with the bitty pieces. Awesome. Okay, so what did I just do with that? I just had it literally like a second ago. Oh my goodness. Oh, there we go. It was white on white. Yeah, yes, Jedi, we are. Thank you for asking. We are over the COVID. It's gone. We've tested negative. Everything's fine. It's just, I have a lingering cold, and it's very irritating. Excuse me. No, actually, the scalpel works great, because it's so much sharper, and the blades are cheaper. X-Acto knife blades are not inexpensive. There we go. So I can get a lot more out of a box of 100 scalpel blades than I can out of some of the X-Acto blades, because they're expensive, and I don't like some of the angles on them. So I use an 11 blade scalpel. This is an ergonomic scalpel handle. I didn't know they made these until I went looking for one, and they totally do. It's pretty awesome. So here we are. Like this, we're gonna have a couple more teacups kind of stacked around here, but this is turning out really cute. And then I will go ahead and put in some of the details on this one. I like that teapot a lot. So let's just be a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people think, a lot of people use X-Acto blades, and they're perfectly fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. The amount of work that I do, I can't justify spending as much as X-Acto wants for their blades. And a lot of them are utility blades, and they will tear this stuff up. So I have tried a lot of them before. Let me look and see if I can make this work. That's cute. make this a little bit waves. I don't do any embossing now. For the most part, a lot of vinyl can't handle it. That's more like a leather thing. Some of the vinyls I have, like I have a bonded leather. A bonded leather is a mix of, oh, cut off too much. A bonded leather is a mix of leather and vinyl. So it kind of, it puts the two of them together. The problem is that most vinyl couldn't hold up to leather embossing. So I've got to change the scale on this a little bit to make this work. But I like the kind of wave thing just because I love this one so much for water. I like that. Okay. There we go. It's just such a pretty pattern on it. I enjoy it a lot. Okay, let's give this a go. A little bit. I just need to round it off a little bit more. So once I get this sewn on, it'll be a little bit more even. Then I can cut off the end parts that I don't need. There we go. Makes me think of Mrs. Potts, doesn't it, with little ruffles? Here, I'm gonna put this down so you can see it a little bit better. I like that color a lot. I think I might do like a wave motif here in the middle just to like really drive home that water feeling. I made some really cool wave pattern fabric that I've been looking at lately too. Let's try. Just doing a little drawing so that I can keep it like a, I don't know, this might not work. We'll see. Looks like a C, kind of. Might have to change the shape of it a little bit. Yeah, so I'm gonna do like this kind of, this one a little bit, and then I'm gonna put a flower, I think, on this one. Because I'd like for it to match the interior. Totoro. Leave the door alone. Cats. Always scratching at something. Behave children that live in my house that happen to have fur. Okay. Oh, I miss going to afternoon tea too. Like, I've been a couple times. It was really nice. I'd like to do that again. Let's see if I can. I think it's a bit too large. Alright, let's. I like that, but let's work on that a little bit. So, this is like the super fiddly bits that I guess a lot of people don't do. But I really enjoy it. Let's see. I really like that. Okay, I'm gonna work on these little bits up here so it looks a little bit more like water and less like kind of like a weird hand. Water is such an interesting thing to try and cut out and embroider because it's so fluid. Funny joke, haha. But and it's interesting because people all know like have an understanding of what water looks like. So you have to be careful that even though it's like an organic, and you can play around with the shapes a little bit more, you can't go too far out of what people expect to see when you say, oh, that's water. Sometimes I get away with fudging organic shapes a little bit. I think I just made it look more like a hand. Hang on. I might have to start over, and that's okay. Because I do that all the time. Yeah, that's definitely a hand. Okay, hang on. Cats are so weird. What a weird panthers we let in our house. I don't know about that. Alright, let's try this. Just gonna cut this off. I might have just cut off too much and I have to start again, but that's okay. Because when I'm freehanding and doing really, really fiddly stuff like this, sometimes I have to redo things, and that's okay. I like it though. I don't know. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute and we'll see if I like it here in a minute. Maybe if I tightened up the wave a little bit. I don't know. It's probably gonna be one of these things where I cut too much and then I'm gonna have to just do it again anyways. I'm gonna let it sit and I'll think about it. Let's get some more. I'm gonna put these on the sides on the purse. This one has exterior pockets. So what I'm gonna do, as you can see, there's the exterior pockets. So I'm gonna get these to go on the outside pockets. Just small little teacups on there. And then the rest of this, I think I'll make a sugar bowl too. Maybe another one of the cups and a saucer for the cup to sit on. Because fancy tea parties need saucers with their cups, right? I think so. Get this saucer on here so I can take a look at it and see if I like the way it looks at the end. Again, not everything two-dimensional translates into three-dimensional, or everything of a drawing translates into like the two-dimensional stuff that I'm doing, I should say. I knew what I was trying to say. I'll get there eventually. Actually, let's get this saucer, this really pretty icy blue. I like this color a lot. Makes me think of snow queens. I thought about doing like petit fours and all those kind of like little fun finger sandwiches and stuff, but I don't think that's what client's going for. If it was for me, I totally would, but did not get any briefing about food. Again, this is going to be one of those things where the stitching is going to bring in some more of the definition that is going to be lacking in this cutout. Because the rims of the saucer and the appearance that, you know, your cup is sitting on or in something, like if it's a deep saucer, can be fixed with the stitching. Because this is going to probably look a little weird when I put it on there. I'll put one of these little, I'm going to do a leaf pattern in this one for this one. Oh, come on. There we go. Didn't want to move there for a second. Very annoying. There we go. Could do with like a plate of little tiny sandwiches. That sounds amazing. There we go. Alright, even that up a little bit. There we go. So then we have our little cup here. As you can see, it doesn't look like it should be sitting there, but we will fix that with the stitches when I'm done. Alright, let's try and get... Yes, Raven. Hi, Raven. Good. Hi. Yes, there you are. There's a cat in my lap. She's so weird. Let's make some petals. So, sometimes when I freehand these, I think it gives a little bit more impression of like handmade pottery. Kind of like that look, you know? Everything doesn't have to be like machined perfect. Shockingly. Yes, she is included. She is sitting here nudging my arm and trying to get pets while I'm working. Here we go. One more flower petal here. This one's going to be fun to sew down because it's tiny. That's why I didn't want to do like super intricate, because I thought about it. I thought about doing something like more refined china kind of thing, and I just don't know if I have the patience for that right now. Yeah, there we go. So, I don't think so. We'll go with something a little simpler. Have my lap being kept warm by a fuzzy black cat. Because I can't work alone. That would be too sad, I guess. She's always very determined that I not be alone. She's also very determined that my husband has to leave me alone because she doesn't like it when he gets close. It's very funny. She gets super duper loud. Okay, well, I like that. I think I'm only gonna do 3. So I have like a nice little leaf pattern on this one. There, that's pretty. If I go with a nature theme, I can get a bit more. I don't think I like this now that I'm looking at it again. We'll find it, and I think it just needs to be smaller. It just needs to be more compact. Okay, so I've used these. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the creamer that I've got going on there. She is very attached to me. She's like a barnacle. Barnacle cat. I'm talking about you, Raven. Okay, let's get this one wrapped back up. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have a giant mess. So, there we go. Let me try this wave pattern again. Maybe make it a little bit smaller. We'll see. She's a giant baby is what she is. And it's about the time of night where her sister starts howling around the house for attention too. So if you hear howling, no one's actually hurting any cats in my house. She's just loud and needy. Sometimes my ideas don't always work out, but we'll see. kind of invested in this whole wave idea now. That works. I think this will work better. Sometimes you just gotta change the shape of certain things before everything works out right. The end result is what I care about, really. I don't really care how many times I have to do something necessarily. Unless it's just not working. And sometimes you just gotta let it go and go a different direction, really. Alright. Sorry, some of these are fussy cuts, so it takes a minute. A little bit longer than a teacup. There we go. I think I like that a little bit better. I'm gonna even up the top here. I don't care for that. There. Yeah, that fits it much better. I like that. I'm gonna go with that for a wave. It's very stylized. Got our little small waves, then we have leaves on that cup. So let's see about what we should put on the creamer. Maybe clouds? Clouds would be good. If we're gonna go with a nature themed tea set, I'll put a flower on one of these just so that it kind of matches the interior fabric a little bit more on the outside. Alright, let's go for clouds. I haven't used this one, and I think this is a good cloud color. My cat is ridiculous. She's sitting up here, staring into my face. Like some poor Dickensian waif asking for more porridge. It's very sad. Just very sad. Okay. So, people are pretty set on what clouds look like, really. So we'll just kind of enhance that with some stitching when we're done. It's a very small cloud. It's okay. I've worked with smaller. Hurts my eyeballs, but I can do it. Because a lot of times working with high shine materials, like, you know, some of these vinyls are super shiny, lots of sparkle. It'll hurt your eyes. Like working same color on same color. It looks really cool at the end though. The death bag that I just finished up with those black feathers on the black background, it's really cool. I like the look of that when it's done. Sometimes it's hard to get done, but it's not awful. Okay, here we go. There. Alright. There. Get a little bit of cloud there. Might have to... Yeah, it's gonna have to be smaller. It's too big. Takes up too much real estate on that little creamer. I know. She jumped off my lap because I wasn't petting her. It's okay. She might go in there and yell at my husband. She likes to do that. I guess just because he generally might need yelling at some point. Yeah. I need to tone down a couple of these little bumps here. It's just a bit much. Alright. Oh yeah, that looks really cute, this little cloud. I like that. Okay, just gonna have to refine the shape a little bit here. Just because I can be picky like that. That's how I get all my stuff, really. It's just being really picky. The amount of time that I spend staring at these things makes it... There we go. Makes it obvious that I do this a lot. There. That's adorable. Okay, good. So we've got a leaf, we've got the ocean, we've got a little cloud. Like that. This is a good, I think, color for the clouds. I'm happy with it. There we go. I think it could still read as cloud even though it's small. Oh, hang on. I'm not happy with it. I lied. This little part over here is bothering me. There we go, that's better. Okay, cool. Let's move on. I've already got that. I think I am gonna make a couple spoons. Let me grab a silver real quick. Can you please stop? There's so much. Raven. This is my silver that I use. It's a silver patent. So it's nice and shiny, but it's not like super high gloss. I have had a chrome before that was so cool, but they stopped making it because, unfortunately, it scratched a lot. I really wish they would make a different version, though. So sometimes that high shine is like really good for certain bags. I don't have much in the way of a lot of really good silvers. Alright, let's cut out some little spoons here. Cute. So what are you all up to this evening? Besides watching me cut things out. Alright. Spoons. The spoons are going to have to be modified just a little bit because there's no way I'm going to be stitching that. If they're that slender, they tend to move when you get them on underneath the sewing machine because they're so thin, even though I tape them down, but there we go. So it's one of those ones that's going to have to be modified a bit. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Some of the things are fiddly just because they're small, not necessarily because they're complicated. Size does make things a bit more difficult. A pile of scissors is over there being loud when I'm moving things around. There we go. Little spoons. Those are adorable. Little wee baby spoons. Yeah, okay. I gotta fix that a little bit. I kind of widened it at the wrong spot when I was cutting. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Alright. There we go. Those are adorable. I love the little spoons. Okay, spoons done. Let's see what else we're doing. Let's do the pocket teacups. I think I'm going to do 3 of them per pocket. Just because they're really cute. So this is one of the ones where I'm going to have to use multiple because they're stacked, but I can't cut them out as one stack, it won't work like that. So I cut them out 2 per page. So I stack them myself, which is again probably extra work, but I think it's really gonna look nice when it's on there. So these, I think we'll be doing, I really like this blue and purple. Maybe a teal. I think these will be cute as polka dots too. I don't know. We'll see what happens once I get it all cut out. Sure hope I have more of this white fluidity hanging around here somewhere, because I don't know if I have enough at the moment. Let's do all this. Let's find out. Okay, so I'm going to be doing this one 2 teacups at a time, and then I'll do the middle one in a separate cut. I think that'll work. And then we're just not going to do the 4th one because I don't need it. Things look better in odd numbers. True facts. If you look at something like this, when you see 4 of them, I just don't think it looks as appealing. I don't know. It's one of those art things. I'm gonna need more masking tape in a minute. This is gonna be a several hour process, so no idea how long that's gonna take. So this one's going to be interesting because the middle teacup is kind of swallowing part of this one. These are slightly less fancy teacups. This is like the casual tea set. But I do like the way the little T is kind of sitting at an angle. I think I might do that. We'll see. They might be empty teacups. I have not decided yet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out this bottom one too while I'm sitting. While I have this tape down. So that will be for one pocket side. Yeah, it'll be for one of the pocket sides, and then I'll have to do another whole set for the next. Glad y'all are hanging out with me today. It's much more fun to talk to people while I do this than just talk to myself. Let's see. Sorry, angles are hard, so I have to concentrate sometimes. So that means I shut up sometimes and stop talking. Alright, let's get it. Sometimes when the illustration that I'm using is kind of a guide cuts off, I have to kind of make up the angles. Usually works out pretty well for me though. But the good thing is a lot of it gets hidden too by the top, by stitching them together so they make a little stack. So all in all, not a huge deal if I guessed wrong on where the angle went when it's another part of the drawing. Most of the time I can fix it just by cutting it correctly to begin with. Or I can cut it again and fix what I don't like. And it all works out at the end anyways. So, I'm gonna stack these up. Alright. Yeah, so we have just like a little more of a basic teacup. Maybe not one that you take to a fancy tea party. But maybe just one you've got sitting on your desk for a nice cup of... I really want tea now. Might have to get a new pot on when I'm done. Ordered some specialty tea recently. A friend of mine has a shop. And it looked so good that I couldn't stop myself. Love tea. Okay, there we go. There's that one. And then we will put this on here and make the middle one that goes in this stack. And I think I really do like the little patterns that they've put on these. So maybe we'll do like a stripe and flower combo on this when it's time to make this. So I try to use up all my scraps because this stuff is not particularly cheap, and the more things I can get out of it, the better off I am. Oh my gosh, we literally have nothing here except for Walmart.
Hello, Mom!
Hi, Tristan.
Hi, camera.
Will you please?
Look, I wanted to see what you're doing.
I am cutting out teacups. What?
Nothing.
Okay. Thank you. The boy has come to visit.
I'm gonna go on Twitch.
Hey, behave yourself on my stream, seriously.
What, I can't be silly?
Not to. People are watching me do stuff, so, and it's not about your silliness. I know, I'm so unfair. Just literally the worst. Oh, well. I am a terrible person. Because I won't let him come on here and be ridiculous. Oh, yeah, I love homebrewed teas. Some of them are not great, but like a lot of them are super, super good. I love tea shops. Like some of my favorite things.
I love you, Mom.
Okay, I love you too.
Say hi to your chat.
Okay. Apparently all my children are going to make a guest appearance today, including the adult one. Alright. Apparently they're downstairs making popcorn. Hi Raven, thanks. So, I think almost. Okay, cool. So, once we have these stacked together, they kind of all get their own individual stitching to make sure that they all look like mugs and not just like silhouettes. So making things look like they have an actual, you know, depth to them is again fixed in the stitching. So there's the 3 there, and they will, let me see, I'll find my pocket again. And these will sit up the side of the pocket. So it's just a nice little cute detail. So when you can see the sides of the, when you see like the, only the side of the bag, like the long ends, you'll still have something cute sitting there. I gotta clean that up a little bit, but. There. All right, let's get the bodies, the rest of these cut out, just so that I can work on some of the details, because I gotta have the base thing here. Okay, I don't need that. Okay, let's just do it again. I still think I'm gonna maybe cut out a couple more pieces for the fronts, just so it looks a little more full. Yeah, I like putting things on the pocket of this particular style of bag.
I'll let him know you're looking for him. Okay.
This bag is one of my more popular ones. I make a lot of it. Just because it's a nice size. It's not too huge, but it's not too small, and has the exterior pockets. I put my sunglasses in mine because I made the style of bag for myself too. A lot of people seem to like it. Yeah, I seriously need to grab another roll of tape.
Oh my god. They cold? Yeah.
Everyone, okay, hang on, I'll be right back. I gotta grab another roll of tape here. Yeah, hi Raven. I go through lots of tape. Packing tape and masking tape and double-sided tape.
I love you.
I love you too. Everyone wants to be on the stream today. Kids. Alright. Let's get the rest of these teacups cut out so that I can get on to doing things that are slightly more interesting than just the cups. Of course, before I sew this down, I will contact the client and make sure that they like what I've decided to do. Most people, you know, are kind of like, well, just do what you want, but I always like to make sure, because I don't like doing custom orders if people aren't totally okay with everything that's on there. It's a big deal to me, because like custom means custom, so you might just really, really like it, or I should do something else. Alright, that's that one. It's really cool because I found a teacup zipper pull for this bag. I was super excited about that. Hey buddy. That is my son, Mr. Galaxy there. Alright, getting there. There we go. You know, it's interesting. I really thought, like, sometimes when people order custom things, it's like tattoos, right? When you see somebody with a really cool tattoo, you go to your tattoo artist and you say, I want that. I want something. And your tattoo artist says, we can do something like that. So a lot of the things I've done is, a lot of the stuff I've done has been, you know, people want something similar. They want something like another thing that I've done. Like the dragons with books. I've done a lot of dragons with books. But the cool thing is because it's all custom, they're all a little bit different. So even if you see something similar, it's not all going to be exactly the same. Even if you want the same thing, I can always make things just a little bit different every time. Like the books with the dragon are always different. Even though that's a popular design that I do, they're all just a little bit more individual. But a lot of times, some bags will inspire others. Like, I've done a lot of the roses. Like, they look like kind of like stained glass. And people will want them with different designs, which is fine. I don't mind doing kind of replica of something that I've done before, but they're all kind of different anyways, just because I'm hand making them. They're not machined. Yeah, buddy, I do. But it's also my channel, so. Okay, 1 cup. 2 cups. Oh, I dinged the corner. There we go. I suppose I would, buddy, but I don't know how important that is right now. Oh, sweetheart. For the most part, like, people come up with more interesting things than I might sometimes for custom bags. Because I wouldn't have thought about that because it's something they're passionate about, especially different books. Like, it's a book I haven't read or something like that. Obviously, I wouldn't think of making a bag of it. But some people have, like, really fallen in love with a book series or something like that. And then they'll be so passionate about it when they're telling me about it and they want their bag about it. That I'll read the book too. So I get more ideas, right? So that works out really well in the end for me. Because I get more things to read and maybe make a different bag inspired by something that they wanted. That works out in the end for me anyways. Okay, I'm almost done cutting this out. Yeah, it's always really cool that people will be like, oh yeah, I definitely want this book, or I want this specific, you know, representations of this character, because like making faces with vinyl, unless it's like a silhouette like I did with the death bag, it's very difficult. But there was one that had like a mountain and 3 stars on it, and I cannot remember the name of the book that this client said, but they were super into it, and I meant to write it down and I didn't. Anyways, I like doing stuff for anything that somebody's going to tell me about, like, at length. Like, people have apologized to me before. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm just really into this. I'm like, don't ever be sorry about things that you're passionate about. Buddy, I have no idea what that is, and I'm kind of streaming right now, so oh, well, I mean, I don't know. Most people understand that custom work is not inexpensive. So sometimes I have a lot of people tell me they're saving up for a bag. And that's not really anything like that, but I've never really ran into like people wanting my work for like nothing or anything like that. Oh, poo. I misplaced that one. Yep, I sure did. Pants. Yeah, I might be able to fix it. Let's see. I haven't really had any like super negative experiences doing this. I don't think I'm a big enough name that influencers would even bother talking to me. Why do you love Twitch, kiddo? Well, maybe someday I will be, I suppose. I guess I'll have to deal with it, maybe. I don't know. Or maybe I won't, and I'll just say no thank you. I don't work for exposure. That's what people die from. Tristan, you see me literally all day. Like, we do school together. Oh. Oh, Tristan, I love you so much. You're so... Oh, man. So, for those of you who don't know, we're doing school at home this year, through online academy. And I'm in charge of making sure that the kids do their schoolwork and, you know, helping them through the difficult parts and stuff. So, like, there's literally no part of the day that Tristan and I are not together, really. Except for now. Oh. Oh. Tristan, that's one of my friends. She's actually met you in person. And you were really little. You probably don't remember her because you were really little. But she's one of my friends from way before you were born. I've had internet friends far older than you are, kiddo. I know, buddy. You'll be 14 next month. Yes. Alright. 3 mugs for the other side. Awesome. Let's get some more things cut out here. That's why I said you wouldn't remember her, kiddo. But she remembers you. Yes, you are. Oh, I'm dying. Oh, my children are amazing. I'm saying is that you're contagious and I don't appreciate you. We don't drink out of the same, anywhere in the same area anymore. Oh, goodness. Having long-term internet friends are interesting. Because you get to see each other through a lot of stuff. Good, bad, otherwise. Hilarious. Oh, I see how it is, Tristan. Mute your mom. Gosh. Oh, goodness. Oh, I think I need to change blades here in a minute. Tristan, I don't care if you mute my stream, honey. I love you. You don't have to watch me if you don't want to. Yeah, I need to change blades. 1 second. Right? I seem to be collecting Australians. Like, I know a lot of people in Australia, it feels like. And obviously I've never been there, but I know a lot of them. My own little collection. Alright, let's get this on here. It's the thing, I don't feel bad about changing my blades so often with scalpel blades either. Because they're so cheap. Oh, no, come on. Nope. So this is how I don't cut my fingers off. I use a pair of pliers when it doesn't want to go in. There we go. Yeah, that works. Okay. Back to cutting. Well, see, that's not right. Like, that's so wild. So weird. You see your friends' kids grow up and stuff, and you're just like, what happens? How did that become a thing? Why are we doing this? Growing up, not allowed. I don't know. I think it emphasizes the passage of time a bit too much for my tastes. Right now I'm cutting out the sugar bowl, which I think you have to have for like a really nice tea party. Do the old 1 lump or 2 joke. That's one of the funniest Looney Tunes cartoons I've ever seen. That derpy lion. Tristan, no one is interested in hearing about why you hate Twitch. Thank you. Please don't do that. Tristan, stop it. Or I'm gonna turn off your internet. Thank you. Modern parenting, modern solutions. goodness. Okay, almost done with these little fiddly handles on this thing. We'll do the lid. I think I'm gonna put purple on there and make it a flower. That would be pretty. So we'll do a little lid in purple, and then we'll do a little, like a pansy or something. I don't know, violet, something like that. That shade of purpley blue requires a pansy or a violet, I think. Oh my gosh, baby, feed your cats. What's wrong with you? Poor things are starving. They'll wither away. Buddy, I don't mind if you stay, but you just gotta behave, please. Okay? Thank you. They know it's 8 o'clock here, baby. That's what it is. They can tell. Buddy, she does. Her cats are just dramatic. They think they should always be being fed. Then they'd be Totoro sized. Oh, okay. Sorry, that was like a fiddly cut. Oh. Just enormous cats. Aww. It's okay, kitty. I have anxiety and stay in my bedroom when I have to, too. That is one relatable cat. Oh, the chat is very active today. You guys are making me happy. Of course the anxiety kitty is named Loki. You'll never convince me that's not a main driving factor with Loki anyways. Okay. This one. We bought those like little bonnet hats for our cats one year. They were not amused. There's like a Kirby head and like a banana hat. I thought it was hilarious. The cats weren't really fans. Okay, so what I'm doing, if you were wondering, since vinyl is all synthetic material, I'm just kind of melting away little bits that I don't need anymore. Because it's not attached to the main body, it just kind of melts. So, that's what I'm doing. You just gotta be careful. Fire solves a lot more problems than I ever expected it to in sewing, but it does. There we go. Okay, let's get a lid on this one and cut out a little bit of a violet or something. Hey buddy, leave him alone, okay? He's not feeling great right now. He's sleeping upstairs. He will come down to you when he's ready to. I really love this color. It's so pretty. Let's get this one on here. Okay, so I'm just going to cut out this lid. I think I like this as a single color better than the original as just a flat one. I wish I could have a tea set in these colors now. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Alright. Excellent. I had enough of it already cut out before it shifted because I didn't tape it down like I said I always should. Mistakes were made, but that's alright. I can fix it. Let's get almost. Alright. There we go. Yeah, I'll have to even this up here in a minute because it did kind of. Okay. That's fine. There we go. I hope you're all enjoying the chat play-by-play of what my 13-year-old is doing right now. Sounds fascinating. So, there is our lid for the sugar. Let's draw out a little bit of a flower here. It's gonna have to be kind of small because it's not a big surface to work with. Now, let me see. Maybe I'll do the purple up the sides. I don't know how nice that's gonna look together. No, changed my mind. I think we're gonna do teal. See what happens when I work. Change my mind about things. All right. Okay. That goes, this stays. We're gonna do teal. And that way, we'll make it look like a tree or something. This time we're gonna tape it down too, so that I don't end up with unevenness. Alright, cool. Let's try again. This usually doesn't involve much cursing.
Oh, Trevor. What calling me a child? Also, Totoro's not upstairs, he's downstairs.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna like this a little bit better. I think we'll save that kind of purple color for the teacups on the side. I'll go with that darker blue and purple over there. Because I really like the color scheme that's going on the front. I don't think I'm gonna like that purple. I use so much masking tape. It's just because it's so much easier than trying to hold things still and it doesn't pull up any of the vinyl, and it doesn't make creases, and it just is really nice. I've tried other things, like I've tried other ways of doing this, and it just doesn't work any other way for what I do. Like I said, if I can get the yeah, my scrap pile is very similar to the adhesive vinyl. Like, I thought about doing the heat vinyl, or that kind of, the heat transfer vinyl, that's what it's called, HTV. I couldn't think of the word for a minute. But the HTV scrap piles look, yeah, exactly the same. I can control it a little bit better than, like, the machines do, because I can put it into scrap places that you couldn't do in a machine with a sensor, because it won't cut that. Okay, so let's almost there. Come on. I have tons of scrap sitting in bins too, because sometimes I only need like a little bit of something. So I feel okay about keeping those little bits, because you just never know when you're gonna need it. Yep, gotta even this up just a hair. There we go. Yes, I like that much better. They don't quite match, but they're more in the same color palette. Okay, let's decide what we're gonna put on this one then. Got like these little petals. I got a cloud and a wave. I do vines. I like vines. So yeah, this is another one of the ones with the felt backing too. So kind of sweetheart, I know you're a big boy. You are definitely not little. Oh goodness. Alright, I need a height on this so I can decide how much vines I need. I'm crying. Yep. Oh, this is my life. Oh my goodness. So let's go. Okay. Tristan, I'm not sad. I'm laughing because you're adorable and I love you. I'm not crying. Sorry, I just gotta give you a minute. Draw some leaves on this, so we have a little bit more of a vine effect here. So instead of, I just don't want it to give it like that snake look, because I think without leaves it's going to look a little snaky. I'd probably use the scale vinyl if I wanted to do actual snakes. I do like me some snakes, but that is not exactly the theme of this bag. let's see how this turns out. Might end up redoing this, but that's okay. I've said before in other videos, organic shapes are a hair bit easier because they're a bit more forgiving, like if there's a mistake in what you're doing. Because organic shapes very rarely have straight lines, so a divot, a dent, a wavy line, it's not that big of a deal. As opposed to, say, like a square, where everyone knows what a square looks like. And if it's off, everybody notices. So, if I was asked what kind of bag I prefer to make, it's organic stuff. Just because I really like that kind of stuff a little bit better, and it's slightly more forgiving. So, like, bag of lines would probably be not ideal for me.
How goes the purse craft, Mother?
Well, I'm streaming right now, my boy.
Yeah, but what are you making?
I am making tea time.
Oh, yeah. That's really cool looking. I like that, Mom. Good job.
Thanks, kiddo.
Is it a commission?
Yes.
Ooh.
They always are, almost.
Very cool.
Thank
All right,
you.
well, have a good time. Hello, chat.
Hug.
I know.
How you doing?
I'm good.
He's over 20, and it doesn't seem like that should be possible, because that makes me very old. Or it makes me feel that way anyways. He was definitely much smaller last time. Kind of like this, but I don't know if it's going to fit right. No, I gotta make it smaller. Sigh. Yes, that was an adult man that just walked through. That is also my child. Being a parent gets difficult sometimes when your kids grow up. I don't like that. This stuff's really cool because the pen I'm using is heat sensitive, so if I make a mistake, I just burn it off. Ta-da! Magic. This also works for, like, when you iron things and stuff. You don't necessarily have to use a liner on it, but since I didn't like the shape I just drew, instead of trying to draw around it and confusing myself, I just erased it with fire. Which is a really fun thing to say you did. Okay, so let's get a size on that a little bit better. Okay, I like that. Let's try for something a little more winding here. Let me give this a go here. I thought about just stitching these details on, but then again, might not work out in the end, so we'll keep trying. I don't know. We'll see how this one goes. Not exactly sure it's going to turn out the way I want, but There's no harm in trying. Sometimes this is the part that takes a long time to do. Especially when I'm making it up on the fly. There we go. Maybe I'll stitch some leaves on if I decide I like this, but I don't know if I will. Let's give it a try. I think I've made something more Cthulhian than leaves and vines. Yeah, that's definitely more eldritch than natural. Try again. I have a hard time not doing eldritch bags. It's much more interesting to do like tentacle bag and sometimes like flowers, but I can do both. Let's try this again. Don't fall asleep on me, okay? This part is just me crafting the details, which I haven't really streamed much before. Most of the stuff that I've streamed has been finished, or like I have more guide drawings, anyways, than I do right now. So some of this just takes me a minute. No, buddy, I don't think I have enough people to get monetized. That's why there's no ads. I need more, Please tell her happy birthday for me, please.
Something, Baba Booey, Howard Stern.
It's just a nice, I need an idea here. I really like the vine idea, but I don't know if I can put enough in. Do like a still working on this. Fortunately, part of art sometimes is having to try things out several times till you find the thing you like. I doubt she remembers me. But I remember her. She had the cutest, curliest hair. Does she still have curly hair? Oh. I will have to look when I am done, but yes, I would love to see. Look like little cherub children. with their cute little curls. I mean, we all knew better, but they look like cherubs. Getting there. Oh, stop that. Goodness. Okay, well, we are approaching probably the end of the stream because I am starting to lose my eyeball focus after concentrating so long on this. It's hard to work on such a small scale for a long time. So, say I thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with me while I work. I always appreciate that. And I am going to go ahead as soon as I'm done with this little bit. Almost. And end this part of the stream. Thank you all for hanging out, and I will see you again next time. Bye!